Alright, shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I'd like to give all praises and all glory unto the Heavenly Father and His only begotten Son, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakha HaKodash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of the great millstone who rule well. Peace and salutation to the hopeful elect. This is your brother Ahmad Bayan coming to you with another video through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakha HaKodash. Now this is these devils that are basically blessed with the sword. You know, coming against the cartel and whatnot. You know, things starting to amp up. Alright, I did a video, you know, not too long, you know, a couple of hours ago. You know, just as a quick plug-in into what's going on and whatnot. Alright, so let's just get into it.
Other than war.
U.S. officials said the closure.
That's incredible. I've never experienced anything.
For 10 days, we can't get out.
This is a shocker. It really is. Complete shock. To close the airport down for 10 days, that's incredible. I've never experienced anything. I don't think I've ever read of any airport in the United States and the world that's been shut down for 10 days, other than war.
U.S. officials said the closure involved a drone threat.
The FAA reopened the airspace around El Paso International Airport in Texas. The Trump administration now saying the temporary closure was tied to the Mexican drug cartel.
But inside Mexico, the fear was real because Trump had already floated the idea of sending U.S. special forces after cartel kingpins. He had repeatedly asked Mexico to allow U.S. military operations inside the country, requests President Claudia Sheinbaum had rejected as violations of sovereignty. The same way he had repeatedly warned Maduro to step down, requests he too rejected multiple times before his eventual capture. So what does Trump's brutal response to hit land targets mean for Mexico? Does it mean boots on ground going after the cartels? And if that's the case, does Mexico have a choice in the matter? We might not know whether Mexico feels they have a choice in the matter, but what happened after showed who has the upper hand. Here's how it went. Just days after Trump promised brutal retaliation against the cartels, Mexico's Senate voted to allow 19 members of the U.S. Navy SEAL Team 2 to enter the country. The vote was overwhelming. 105 senators voted in favor, 0 voted against. The SEALs are scheduled to operate in Campeche, at naval facilities used by Mexico's Marine Forces. Officially, this is a joint training mission. The stated goal is to improve the capacity of Special Operations Forces in Mexico. That means training them on better tactics, better coordination, and better readiness in high-risk missions.
I had an opportunity to talk to their head of defense and their head of Navy as well. Engagement and cooperation is an important part of the process. It's about time we secure our own border. Tens of millions of people have poured across this border under Joe Biden's administration, unchecked. We have no idea who they are. We have no idea where they're coming from. We have no idea what their intentions are. In many ways, under the Biden administration, and Tom knows this better than anybody else, they were facilitated their entry into this country. That stops now.
On paper.
Now these people, you know, ISO is military. You know, you see where they heading with this and whatnot. You know, and you know, it's showing you the power that they have, right? Where they could get into your country, you know, because, you know, these jakes, you know, in Mexico and whatnot, you know, because a lot of Mexicans over there is also jakes, you know, and, you know, they can handle they can handle that where they had to control these cartels and whatnot, you know. But when this particular people here now, you know, Esau, you know, and his troops, you know, they were blessed by that sword, you know, and that's basically what the video going into, you know, they being blessed by the sword. The reason being why they overcome, you know, they overcome all these different things, you know. you know, that the Lord put a mark upon him, you know. He put a mark upon, you know, in the, this is his name boy, Cain. He put a mark upon Cain that, you know, no one could, if anyone tried to basically do anything like unalive him, you know, it's easy for him to respond back, you know, in a time like this, you know, where it's going to be, you know, I think it's 7 times worse, you know, on to the person that come against Esau, right? So Esau had that mark upon him where, you know, he really cannot be touched, right? He really cannot be touched. But the Lord say what? Wait upon him until he rise up to the prey. So the Lord is the one who is the one that has to take down Esau, all right? Not Jake, you know. So no matter who come against him, you know, come against Esau in this little wars and them it have this city against city and so forth, you know, those types, and they will not prevail, right? But you know, Esau, these things has to happen for Esau pride to continue building up. All right, now this is Genesis chapter 27, and let's read down. All right, let's read from verse 38. All right, it says, and Esau said unto his father, hast thou one blessing, my father? Bless me, even me also, O my father. And Esau lifted up his voice and wept, right? Esau, you know, came back from hunting and realized that, you know, his brother Jacob had got that blessing, right, from his father Isaac. Okay? So when Esau saw that, when Esau realized that, you know, Esau cried out for, you know, also one more blessing, you know, and this is what he got. All right, verse 39, it says, and Isaac his father answered and said unto him, behold, thy dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth, right? Meaning the best of the best. You know, anywhere they go, you know, anywhere that they land, you know, they basically are the best of the best, right? It says, and of the dew of heaven from above, and by thy sword, right? You know what's the modern day sword? The modern day sword is the blinky, is the military and whatnot. You know, this is Esau's modern day sword, right? So he, you know, he created it, you know, and he knows how to use it, you know. So no matter, you know, the cartel using it and whatnot, you know, they will get trampled over also, but you know, they won't go down without a fight, you know. And what they say, they send about how much, 19 soldiers on the ground over on that end, you know, that took down whoever, right? Forget the guy name, right? So continuing here, it says, verse 40, and by thy sword shalt thou live, and shalt serve thy brother, and it shall come to pass, when thou shalt have the dominion, that thou shalt break his yoke from off thy neck, right? So mainly what we're looking at here, what we're stressing on here, is that this devil is living by the sword, right? You know, and the same sword is going to destroy him, because, you know, as I mentioned, you know, the Lord say wait upon him until he rise up to the prey. All right. It's the book of Zephaniah 3 and verse 8. It says, therefore wait ye upon me, saith the Lord Yahweh, until the day that I rise up to the prey. All right. And that prey is who? Esau. You know, these heathens. All right. into banking families and whatnot. You know, as we know, the saying is how it is go, all wars are bankers' wars, right? It says, for my determination is to gather the nations that may assemble, that I, Salakia, may assemble the kingdom to pour upon them my indignation, right, which is righteous judgment, even all my fierce anger, for all the earth shall be devoured with the fire of my jealousy, right? So you know the Lord bringing that judgment upon Esau very soon, all right? As I say, he is blessed with that sword, you know. Reason being why he could get into people country and whatnot, you know, and you know be that bully that he is, you know. But you know, at the end of the day, is only Yahweh Bashim Yahushai is the one that causing him to do these things. Alright? Only he who now letteth will let. Alright? Is the book of Second Thessalonians chapter 2 and verse 6, it says, and now ye know that withhold it, that he might be revealed in his time. Right? Who's being revealed in this time? Esau Edom, right? People will notice and see, you know where he get his blessing from. You will understand, you know, through the prophets of the Lord, you know, breaking down the scriptures and letting you all know, right? Warning, you know, the rebellious house of Israel, you know, to turn back also to Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. Alright? It says, for the mystery of iniquity doeth already work. Only he who now letteth will let until he be taken out of the way. Right? So the Lord is the one that letting this devil reach this far with his wickedness, with his military, you know, basically putting him on that pedestal, you know, that prideness, you know. As the scriptures say, pride goeth before destruction and a haughty spirit before a fall, right? So, you know, this devil pride is basically shooting through the ceiling, you know, where he believes that, you know, he could do anything he wants, you know, and he's basically unstoppable, you know. But when he reached to that point, you know, where he's going right now, he's looking to go to Iran to cause chaos over there, you know. That is going to be basically his mistake, you know, because you know those people over on that end, they don't play, right? They don't play at all, and they wouldn't go down without any fight, you know. They will come out like, you know, they are known as the wild man, you know. So they are going down, they are coming, you know. It will be two, you're gonna be two sort of what alphas, you know, fighting, you know, which is going to bring in Russia and China and all of them, you know, that World War III. Alright, so yeah, you know, so this was just a quick one here, you know, through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. You know, I was just taking in the video that the person here did. Alright, so with that, I will say shalom.